Arise, I come from Svartalfheim with important news. I'm back making another video. If you found this video, then you might be wondering, why isn't another reaction video? Well, I kinda done a lot of other videos than reaction videos, and this channel is just basically an everything channel. So here you go. How I did this video was that I went to an AI poem generator. Even though it does French poems, which are the rhyming poems, I still decide, poem. And I used that to make the old Norse poems from the Poetic Edda, from stuff I found online, and also Jackson Crawford's translation. And I use that if I can't understand what they're saying, not as I can translate Old Norse, it's just that they use kind of older English, which can be hard to read sometimes. And I also used AI like voice generators, more realistic ones than the one I use usually, because I have made videos before. So yeah, it's gonna be the whole point of the video. Enjoy. The poems in this video today are Voluspa, Grimnismal, Vafthrudmal, got that out of order, Harbaldthjalf, Himskvida, Lokasena, Thrimskiva, and Balder Troma. These are all from Overly Sarcastic Productions video, and the Poetic Edda, check that out. There's one poem I wanted to add, which is All This Mall, but I found that I kinda just didn't feel like doing it, so yeah. Alright.
I whisper secrets, Odin, of times long forgotten. In the void of nothingness, Ymir reigned, a primordial giant where all was contained. But Odin and his brothers, fierce and bold, slew Ymir, creating a world untold. From his lifeless corpse, the earth did birth, and the sun and the moon found their place in the sky's girth. A golden age ensued, with gods gleaming bright, constructing temples, forging tools with delight. But 3 giant maidens, mighty and grand, from Jotunheim came, and the golden age was at hand. The Aesir, undeterred, created the dwarfs, Motsognir and Durin, the mightiest carvers. A list of others, so many there might, crafting wonders in the hidden depths of night. Then came the moment, so grand and divine, when the gods fashioned humans, a sacred design. Ask an Embla, born from ancient trees, breathing life, a gift brought by the heavenly breeze. 3 maidens appeared, the Norns, so wise, controllers of fate with their piercing eyes. They bind the world tree, Yggdrasil, so vast, linking realms, present, future, and past. In the course of events, a Vani woman met pain, speared and burned thrice, yet kept coming again. The war of Aesir and Vani commenced, Asgard's wall fell, the balance incensed. A cunning giant offered a new stone wall, for Freya's hand, the price, they must install. But Thor, with his might and his hammer's blow, foiled the devious plan and brought down the foe. I know where Heimdall hid his horn, and how Odin sacrificed his eye, for wisdom to be born. Valkyries gather, their steeds ready to ride, guiding fallen warriors to Valhalla's side. Balder, a beloved son of Odin's embrace, shall die from mistletoe, a cruel fate to face. His blind brother, Hod, unknowingly to blame, strikes the fatal blow, forever altered in shame. Vali, Odin's son, born a day new, avenges his brother, ending Hod's life askew. Loki, bound by the Aesir, rides in torment, protected by faithful Sigyn, her love relentless. There is a hall in Nidavella, a realm below, where the mighty dwarfs tirelessly glow. Another hall hidden, with serpents and venomous strife, for those who transgressed, a tormenting afterlife. A woman, in the realm of Ironwood's sway, births Fenrir's brood, wolves hungry for prey. Chasing the sun and moon with relentless might, until the day they capture the eternal light. A harsh winter looms o'er the horizon's edge, signaled by chickens clucking with knowledge profound. A wolf named Garm from his chains shall break free, as men turn on each other, vows broken, no unity. Heimdall's horn shall sound, Yggdrasil shall quake, giants and gods engaged in a fearsome clash they make. Naglfar, a boat of fire giants' desire, rowed by a freed Loki, takes the infernal dire. Surtur, the fire giant, arrives from the south, Asgard ablaze, in flames all shall be doused. In the midst of the chaos, Odin confronts Fenrir, a battle of fate, where death looms ever near. Odin, the All-Father, meets his ultimate end, but his son Vidar avenges Fenrir's life to rend. Thor battles the Midgard serpent, a fight for the ages, though victorious, he succumbs to the serpent's deadly wages. The sun loses its gleam, the earth sinks into the sea, but in time, from the depths, it shall rise and be free. The surviving gods, to Asgard they return, Balder and Hod, forgiveness they yearn. Honi and others find solace in a new place, Gimli, where everlasting peace they embrace. And Nidhogg, the dragon, survives the grand fall, reminding us that darkness still lurks for us all. I have spoken, my tale now done, emotions stirred, souls awakened, battles won. May this recounting of ancient lore and strife guide us through the mysteries of this human life.
In the hall of the gods, where whispers echo, Odin stands with his beloved Frigg, aglow. A tale of challenge awaits him, a test of wits, a giant named Vafthrudnir, who claims he knows all bits. Frigg, wise and fair, advises her husband true, to face the giant, Odin must assume a different hue, a wanderer, masking his true divine form, for in anonymity, his knowledge shall be the norm. Thus, Odin agrees to Frigg's thoughtful plea, to approach Vafthrudnir as a wanderer, unseen. And so, with the guise of Ganrad, Odin arrives, in Vafthrudnir's hall, where their intellect thrives. A contest of questions commences in that place, each one aimed to challenge the other's grace. Vafthrudnir begins, his inquiries like a river's flow, and Ganrad, in turn, responds with knowledge aglow. The name of the day's horse, Ganrad reveals, Skinfaxi, shimmering steed that daylight conceals. Then Hrimfaxi, the night's horse, Ganrad imparts, with its frosty mane, guiding the darkness arts. The river that separates gods and giants, Ganrad knows, it is Ifing, where boundaries and destiny quietly flows. And in Vigrid, the field where the epic battle lies, gods and giants will clash, under tempestuous skies. Now, Vafthrudnir suggests switching the role, both ask and answer, wagering their heads, a toll. Ganrad, with burning curiosity in his eyes, delves into realms, seeking ancient truths that lie. The ground and sky's origins, Ganrad demands, Vafthrudnir reveals from Ymir's flesh, their bands, the seas, birthed from Ymir's sweat, they came to be, in the earliest days, shaping reality's tapestry. The sun and the moon, Ganrad seeks and seeks, Vafthrudnir unravels the secret, his voice meek, Mundilfiri's children, forever destined to roam, pulling the sun and moon, to illuminate the home. Day, offspring of Delling and night, Ganrad inquires, a creation that forever burns, warming souls and fires. And winter, born from Vinesville's icy breaths, Summer, a child born from Svasutha's warming crests. Bergelmir, the giant who carried the race anew, after Ymir's death, to the giant's lineage he drew. And Orgelmir, born from Ilivigar's tranquil drips, nurtured by the river's embrace, darkness it sips. Curiosity sparks Ganrad's final plea, how did Ymir sire the giants, wonders he. Vafthrudnir reveals the unique genesis of old, armpit sweat and six-headed creatures unfold. Oldest memory, Ganrad seeks to unfold, Vafthrudnir remembers his father, Bergelmir bold. Then the wind's origin, the whisper that roams, eagle's wings embrace, the breezy secrets it combs. Njord's place in Asgard, Ganrad delves deep, Vafthrudnir unveils the reason, a secret that seeps, a hostage of peace, in the times of wars untamed, Njord resides, until Ragnarok's flames are tamed. Valhalla, the hall where warriors clash and cheer, Ganrad learns its name with a steadfast ear, a haven for those who fight in the morn, returning as friends when evening's veil is worn. Vafthrudnir knows the secrets gods and giants share, as he wandered realms, embraced by fate's affair, even hell's realm, his footsteps have tread, the secrets of the afterlife, where the souls are led. Human survival during Fimbul winter he uncovers, Lith and Lithrazor, hiding beneath nature's covers, they persevere, hidden within a sacred tree, to repopulate a world, from the darkness set free. The sun, consumed by the wolf, a fearsome plight, yet Vafthrudnir reveals a glimmer of hope's light, the woman who pulls, before and after the fall, her daughter shall rise, answering destiny's call. Young women who soar above the vast sea's crest, despite their heritage, happiness in Midgard is their quest, from Jotunheim they come, their hearts sought below, finding solace and peace where the human spirits glow. With Ragnarok in mind, Ganrad's questions explore, the fate of Asgard, destined to settle once more, Baldra and Hod, inheritors of its divine might, Magni and Modi claim their father's hammer, a noble sight. Odin's fate, whispered at Baldra's funeral, Ganrad seeks, Vafthrudnir realizes the wager, truth in his heart peaks, and with a kick of despair, he casts Odin away, knowing his head he bet, in this formidable fray. In ancient times, there was a monarch by the name of Hraudung who had two sons, Agnar and Geirrod. During their childhood, the two siblings embarked on a fishing expedition and were unfortunately lost at sea. They eventually landed on an island where they were taken in by an elderly couple, who were in fact Odin and Frigg in disguise. After their return home, Geirrod, in a moment of recklessness, threw the boat back into the sea with Agnar still aboard. As a result, Geirrod was crowned king while Agnar was forced to live with a troll as his wife. Subsequently, Odin and Frigg observed the now grown Geirrod and decided to pay him a visit. Frigg, however, warned Odin that Geirrod was not hospitable to guests, which Odin perceived as a falsehood. To settle the matter, they made a wager. Odin disguised himself as Grimnir and went to visit Geirrod, while Frigg sent her servant Fulla to inform Geirrod about a stranger that no dog would harm. Fulla left, and Grimnir arrived. Remarkably, no dog attacked him, and Geirrod inquired about his identity. Grimnir revealed only his name and nothing more. Geirrod then subjected Odin to torture between two fires for 8 days. However, on the 9th day, Geirrod's son, also named Agnar, offered Odin a horn to drink from. Odin took a sip, but his cape caught fire from one of the fires.
Grimnir, the guise I donna weave this verse, conveying the fire upon my cape's fierce curse. Young Agnar, the sole soul who quenched my thirst, when others turned away, their aid reversed. I speak of a land, both holy and divine, where gods and elves in harmony entwine. For mighty Thor in Thrudheim shall reside, till gods confront their inevitable stride. All his stepson built his own hall grand at Idalir, where warriors stand. Freyr, the ruler of Alfheim, he became in youth, bestowed with land and endless fame. Valaskjalf, My hall, the seat of my command, from Sokvabek saga and I drink so grand. Gladsheim, the land of eternal valor and praise. Valhalla, where heroes await their final days. Spear shafts hold the grand hall's heavenly roof, shields below, shielding warriors aloof. A wolf guards Valhalla's western door, an eagle perched above forevermore. Jass's Thrimheim, now Skadi's domain, where fierce winds howl in relentless rain. Balder, Kindbald, built Breidablik fair, a place where sorrow finds no solace there. Heimdall guards him in Jarg with vigilant eye, savouring the mead, never shall he sigh. Folkvang, ruled by fair Freya's decree, where half the fallen warriors shall be. Facetian Glitnir dispels dispute's might, Jord's Noaton, a hall kissed by ocean's light. Vidar, prepared to avenge his father's fall, in a hall embraced by vine and weed so tall. Andrimir the cook, feeding Valhalla's host with savoury meat, they savour every roast. Jerry and Freaky, my wolves ever true, fed by me, though wine alone I pursue. Ravens Hugin and Munin, my thoughts serene, they saw the world, my messengers keen. Midgard, serpent resides in Fenrir's sea, a realm vast, where no one wades free. Vingrid, the gate, eternally revered, Thor's Bilskirnir, the largest roof appear. Valhalla's doors, countless they may be, warriors march through when it's time to decree. Hydrum, the goat, atop my hall, stands tall, pouring mead, warriors' spirits enthrall. A stag, its drips form rivers that flow, from horns to Hervalmir's depths they go. Sid, Vid, Saikin, Aikin, the rivers hide, the gods' riches, secrets they confide. Vina, Vegsvin, the rivers to Hell's main, men tread upon their paths of sombre bane. 4 wading rivers with dauntless command, while Bifrost carries gods, flaming bridges strand. Glath, Gilia, Glir, the rivers of might, guiding gods' horses with Yggdrasil in sight. 3 roots beneath, Hel Jotunheim, Midgard lies, Ratatosk, the squirrel, trades, taunts and cries. 4 deer feast upon Yggdrasil's great tree, Dane, Devalin, Dunea, Dunradror, you see. The serpents below gnaw roots with their breath, Yggdrasil, burdened by eternal death. Valkyries, fair bestowers of Valhalla's mead, warriors rejoice in their glorious deed. Arvak and Ausvid, pulling sun's chariot high, with bellows cooling their fiery stride. Skoll, the shield, threatens Midgard's fate dire, looming above, a world consumed by fire. Skoll and Hati, wolves chasing sun and moon, the cosmic dance of light, their rhythms tune. Ymir's flesh birthed earth, blood for the sea, bones for the rocks, and his skull for the sky. Midgard from eyelashes, his brains become the clouds drifting high. To extinguish such fire, come forth with might, all and gods shall aid, realms open in sight. Skidblade near, the boat, dwarves' craftsmanship, gleams, Yggdrasil, greatest of trees, realm's guardian it seems. Odin, supreme god embraced by the land, Sleipnir, my horse carrying me hand in hand. Bifrost, the bridge where gods begin their flight, Bregi's sacred poems, stirring hearts with light. Habrok, hawk supreme, soaring across the skies, Garm, loyal dog forever by my side. Aegir's refuge, help shall find God's embrace, yet Geirrod, drunk, in his folly misplaced. But Geirrod's ill fate, I now must declare, lost my favour, Valhalla's warriors won't spare. I am Grimnir, Ig, Ear, Fund, so oft named, Vak, Skilfing, Roptatire, whose glory was fame. Gout, Jock, Ofnir, power in each guise I bear, Svafnir, the one-eyed, known in world's lair. For ages I've battled giants, rampaged wild, triumphed in battles fierce, courage undefiled. Geirrod, your threats shall be naught but vain, for Odin's power shall forever reign.
King Geirrod was seated with his sword resting on his knee, partially unsheathed. However, upon learning of Odin's arrival, he promptly stood up and endeavored to retrieve Odin from the fire. In the process, the sword slipped from his grasp and fell with the hilt facing downwards. The king stumbled and fell forward, resulting in the sword piercing him and causing his demise. Subsequently, Odin disappeared, while Agnar assumed the throne and reigned for an extended period. Upon his return from Jotunheim, Thor encountered a river and observed a ferryman with his vessel on the opposite bank. Thor proceeded to vocalize his presence, calling out to the ferryman. Thor's mighty voice, a thunderous call, echoes across the river wide and tall. He calls out to the ferryman, so wise and old, seeking passage to the realm of gold.
Who are you, ferryman, standing there so strong? If you let me cross, my breakfast I'll prolong. A portion I'll share, gesture so fair. In return, let my journey be light as air.
The ferryman sneers, his tone filled with doubt.
Are you boasting of wealth? Is that what you're about? Your homecoming won't be filled with delight. Your mother, I fear, has long taken flight.
Angered, Thor's voice thunders like a storm, news of his mother's demise, a bitter swarm.
Such news is ill-fated for anyone to bear. To speak of her death, my heart cannot bear.
The ferryman scoffs, casting judgment and scorn.
You don't look prosperous. Your clothes are torn. You appear as a beggar, in rags you're clad. Why should I allow you to cross, young lad?
Thor's eyes gleam with challenge, his voice resolute.
Row your boat to me, let me show you the truth. And who owns this boat? Pray, tell me so, for arrogance and lies, I won't let you go.
The ferryman chuckles, revealing his name.
Greybeard they call me, and truth is my claim. I rarely deceive, my reputation pristine. Why would I lie, unless I were a fiend?
Thor's wrath builds, a storm brewing inside, threatening to wash away all his pride.
Wading this river, my pants may get wet, but vengeance will find you lest we forget.
Greybeard stands firm, his gaze unwavering.
I'll keep my post as you attempt your crossing. Stronger than Hrungnir, I'll be your greatest foe. Let the battle commence, let the rivers flow.
Thor boasts of his triumph, his glory untold, of Hrungnir's defeat, of giants bold. Greybeard counters, from his island's domain.
During your duel I battled wars, not in vain.
As Thor boasts further, his voice filled with pride, Greybeard shares his tale, with mischief implied. He received a gift, a giant's wand so grand, enchanting the giant, he held the upper hand. Thor scorns Greybeard, a repayment so poor, for such a gift, a return meager and sore.
What were you doing while I claimed victory? Tell me, Greybeard, your role in history.
Greybeard responds, battles waged at his side, raging wars in the south, never resting, never tied.
No peace for me, nor victory unjust. I deal out triumphs, my battles a must.
Thor questions Greybeard's uneven command, unfair victories dealt by his mighty hand.
Your strength is unmatched, I won't deny, but a cowardly knight when you hid in Skrymir's glove. Oh my.
Thor's anger flares, his patience wearing thin.
I'll slay you, Greybeard, if I can simply get in.
Greybeard counters, mocking Thor once again.
No transportation, no way to begin.
What was I doing?
Thor retorts with fire.
Guarding a river, under Svarang's dire. They threw stones at me, but I turned the tide. They begged for mercy, no more fight to hide.
Greybeard weaves his tales, of a woman's grace, an enchanting lover, a radiant face.
What were you doing while I had my delights? Why didn't you join me in passionate nights?
Thor regrets missing such an affair.
If I had been there, I would have helped, I swear.
But Greybeard's trust wanes from a previous deceit, a trick played on him, bitter words to repeat. Thor speaks of the battles he faced with might, fighting fierce berserkers, in the midst of the fight.
They were more wolves than women, oh so wild. They broke my boat, threatened and defiled.
Greybeard scoffs, a shameful act he claims, to fight women, tarnishing Thor's fabled name. But Thor defends, their wolf-like demeanor so clear. Greybeard scoffs, a shameful act he claims, to fight women, tarnishing Thor's fabled name. But Thor defends, their wolf-like demeanor so clear.
They pushed, they threatened with iron rods they sneer.
Greybeard confesses, with a touch of remorse, though battles he fought, guided by a dark force. He offers an arm ring, a peace offering supreme, but the harm of his words remains, the wound unseen. Thor demands answers, questioning Greybeard's intent.
Where did you learn such harmful words, so bent?
Greybeard chuckles, an answer so cunning.
I learned from the old man, their whispers cunning.
Thor's rage swells, his vengeance taking hold.
A beating you'll receive as I hammer unfolds. You'll howl more than wolves. The pain you'll endure when my Mjolnir strikes. Your cowardice pure.
Greybeard, undeterred, his words a final sting. Sif, Thor's beloved, urged to start anew, bring a lover, more worthy, for Mjolnir's embrace. But Thor refuses, claims Greybeard has no grace.
You lie about Sif, your words are untrue. I'll get there in time no matter what I must do.
But Greybeard teases, claiming Thor is too slow, that his delay allowed the betrayal to grow. Thor's anger flares, blaming Greybeard's scheme, for holding him back, destroying his dream. He offers advice, a way to cross this strife, to find Midgard, his mother, eternal guide. Undeterred, Thor departs, ending this duel.
You've had your fill of mocking, you fool.
But Greybeard whispers, his voice filled with disdain.
May your journey be troubled, may you face pain.
In the hallowed halls of giants old, where deities sought a feast untold, the gods came to Agir's abode, their desires and hunger demanding erode. Agir, the giant, with brewing skill, declared the need of a cauldron, big and still, to contain the ale, a river profound, that would quench their thirst and joy resound. Tyr, wise and knowing, whispered to Thor, of Hymir, his father, a giant of lore, a cauldron, vast, a mile deep, awaited them with secrets to keep. On chariot adorned with goats of might, Thor and Tyr soared through ethereal night, but weary was one, the burdensome beast, 4 ages ago, its bone was ceased. To Egil, the giant, Thor made his plea, to care for the goat, to set him free, then onward they walked to Hymir's maw, to discover what mysteries lay in awe. At Hymir's doorstep, they were greeted so, by Tyr's grandmother, her head's aglow, and beside her stood a radiant soul, Tyr's mother, a beauty to behold. Tyr's mother advised them to hide away, for Hymir despised guests, especially Thor's play, and so, concealed, they awaited the storm, as Hymir returned with a heart forlorn. The anger giant, searching each space, for Thor's presence, his anger to embrace, yet, with wisdom, he ceased his affright, and offered them food, in darkness a light. 3 oxen, the feast, before them laid, Thor, with hunger, 2 devoured, unswayed, but Hymir, incensed, declared with disdain, they'd fish on the morrow, endeavored in pain. As the sun arched its ascent through the sky, to the farm Thor was sent, bait to supply, the largest bull, with strength untamed, succumbed to Thor's might, head severed, maimed. Hymir, fuming, contained his rage, together they sailed, fears to engage, 2 whales they caught, a feat deemed grand, but Thor sought more, his heart at command. Further they ventured, serpent's domain, where Midgard's guardian lurked, immense and arcane. Thor cast the bull's head into abyssal deep, and the serpent arose, mighty coils in a leap. A battle of wills, a pull like no other, Thor's foot held firm, he defied the smother, his hammer, Mjolnir, wielded with might, struck the serpent's head, a victorious fight. Back into the depths, the serpent withdrew, had Thor hesitated, Hymir would undo, with relief they returned to solid shore, Hymir's unease, Thor's triumph, did more. Yet, Hymir's test was not yet done, to crack his cup, to shatter, stun, Thor's strength was tested, in vain he tried, Mjolnir's might waned, the cup remained untied. Tyr's mother's voice whispered bold, of Hymir's head, stronger to behold, with a single blow, the cup met its fate, on Hymir's brow, it shattered, abate. In fury, Hymir bellowed to leave. Thor and Tyr took the cauldron, naive. As they journeyed back to Aegir's grand hall, Hymir approached, fire giants in thrall. Thor stood firm, his hammer raised high, battling giants, the deadly blaze nigh. With strength unrivaled, he claimed the fight, and delivered the cauldron, a glorious sight. From that sacred vessel, the gods did drink, in winter's embrace, the ale would sink, upon their lips, its magic did ignite, a feast shared with joy, in eternal light. Aegir, also known as Gymir, had prepared ale for the gods, as previously mentioned, after acquiring the powerful kettle. Odin and his wife Frigg attended the feast, while Thor was absent on a journey to the east. Sif, Thor's wife, was present, along with Bragi and his wife Idun, Tyr, who had lost one hand to the wolf Fenrir when he was bound, Njord and his wife Skotha, Freyr and Freyja, and Vithar, Odin's son. Loki and Freyr's servants Bigbur and Bela were also in attendance, as were many gods and elves. Aegir had two serving men, Famafen and Eldur, who had replaced firelight with glittering gold. The ale flowed effortlessly, and the atmosphere was peaceful. The guests praised the serving men's abilities, but Loki could not tolerate the praise and killed Famafen. The gods reacted by shaking their shields and howling at Loki, driving him away to the forest. They then resumed drinking. Loki encountered Eldur outside and spoke to him. In the feasting hall, where gods convene, Loki, once welcomed, now is sight unseen. Eldur, Aegir's servant, whispers low.
"Oh Loki, they won't want you to show."
But Loki, defiant, undeterred by disdain, enters the hall, igniting fury like a flame. Shocked and angered, the gods rise in rage. Bragi, the poet, demands his disengage.
"Stay your tongue, Loki. We want you not here. Your presence sour, casting shadows of fear."
Yet Loki turns to Odin, with words sincere, recalling their bond, the oath held dear.
Our blood runs together, brother and friend. A drink shall be shared till the very end.
Reluctantly, Odin commands Vidar to stand, making way for Loki, a seat to demand. Loki sits and drinks, mocking Bragi's pride, toasting the gods, but not for him does he abide. Bragi, angered, offers a horse to appease, but Loki retorts, his mockery does not cease.
Poor Bragi, no horse to call your own, yet here you sit, on a lofty throne.
Bragi implores Loki to quiet his tongue, for feasts are meant for merry songs to be sung. But Loki, the trickster, takes aim with his words, insulting Bragi's courage, like a flight of birds. Idun, Bragi's wife, enters to calm the storm, but Loki's venomous tongue, her heart does transform. He taunts Idun, for her brother's fate, sleeping with the one who sealed his end's gate. Gefun intervenes, seeking peace in the air, but Loki mocks her actions with a snide despair. He insults her for a necklace's purchase, a trade made in the name of pleasure's allure. Odin, enraged, lashes out in defense, mocking Loki's past, a woman's pretense. Loki's retort strikes Odin where it stings, a searing reminder of the olden rings. Frigg, wise and calm, attempts to intervene, but Loki's accusations make her pale and keen. He accuses her of infidelity untold, with Odin's brothers, her heart did unfold. Frigg claims if Baldr still lived today, Loki's life would be forfeit, his debts to pay. But Loki sneers, confessing his crushing crime, by his hand, not Hod's, fell Baldr in his prime. Freya, voice gentle, offers words of peace, yet Loki's lies and taunts refuse to cease. He claims she's bedded gods and elves alike, Freya denies, but Loki's words strike. He reminds all of her brothers' disdain, caught in their passion, and unspoken shame. Njord, their father, counters with his own view, deeming love between kin and act as true. Loki scoffs, for Freyr and Freya's birth, born of a union deemed incestuous, not worth. Tyr steps forth, defending Freyr's name, Loki's insult, Fenrir's cruel maim, reminding Loki of the bloodshed's cost, for Tyr lost a hand, but Fenrir's freedom was lost. Freyr, enraged, bellows a thunderous cry, promising retribution, vengeance flying high. Loki insults Freyr's sword, his pride and might, claiming it his downfall at the final fight. Vigbur, Freyr's servant, defends his lord, but Loki belittles, striking a discord. Heimdall, ever watchful, chastises Loki's mirth, but Loki's cruel jabs target his burdened worth. He mocks Heimdall's back, crushed by the strain, the guardian of Bifrost, battered by rain. Skadi, filled with fury, threatens a fate, a rock-bound Loki, his son's entrails wait. Loki, undeterred, claims it holds no dread, reminding her of her father's fate, laid to bed. She spits back at Loki, venomous and strong, for sullying her name, she feels deeply wronged. Loki taunts her with a past path they could tread, her desires for him, not easily unsaid. Sif, Thor's wife, offers a drink as peace, but Loki claims her unfaithfulness will not cease. He accuses her of betrayal's sweet song, to her thunderous husband, she's done him wrong. Then Bela, Vigvur's wife, senses a storm, Thor's arrival imminent, his power to transform. The earth trembles, lightning flashes in the sky, Thor approaches, ready to make Loki fly. Loki insults Bela, scornful and unkind, her stature, her role, leaving no peace behind. Thor stands before Loki, hammer in hand, threatening punishment, severe and grand. Loki mocks his courage, doubts his might, fearing his duel with Fenrir, the eternal fight. Thor warns Loki of a fate most dire, his hammer's force, a consuming fire. Loki sneers at Thor's struggles of the past, his futile attempts at opening Skrymir's fast. Thor vows to send Loki straight to hell, to vanish forever, in a deep dark spell. Loki, knowing his time is nearly done, leaves the hall, victory he has spun. Subsequently, Loki concealed himself within Freyang's waterfall, assuming the form of a salmon, and it was there that the gods apprehended him. He was securely bound using the entrails of his own son, Vala, while his other son, Narfi, underwent a transformation into a wolf. Skadi procured a venomous serpent and affixed it above Loki's countenance, causing the poison to drip upon him. Sigyn, Loki's spouse, positioned herself nearby, diligently holding a shell beneath the venom. Once the shell became full, she would promptly remove it, all the while the poison continued to fall upon Loki. Consequently, he exerted such immense force that the entire earth trembled, thus giving rise to what is now known as an earthquake. In the realm of gods and giants, a tale unfolds, of Thor, wielder of Mjolnir, mighty and bold. As the sun rose high, he awoke from his rest, only to find Mjolnir gone, from its sacred nest. With a heart heavy, Thor searched high and low, but Mjolnir was elusive, nowhere to show. To Loki he went, seeking aid in despair, for the mischief maker had knowledge to share. Loki sought Freyja, fair and enchanting, to borrow her falcon suit, gracefully and ambling. He transformed and soared across realms in disguise, destination, Jotunheim, where the hammer lies. In the realm of giants, Loki found Thrym, the king, who confessed to his theft with a malevolent grin. Thor's hammer lay buried deep beneath the ground, to retrieve it, a marriage to Freyja must be found. Back to Asgard, Loki hastened with the news, unveiling the grand scheme that would confuse and amuse. They approached Freyja, urged her to wed the giant king, but she refused, for such a fate was a bitter sting. A council was held, the gods assembled tight, Heimdall spoke wisdom, fearing a looming plight. To reclaim the hammer and protect Asgard's might, Thor would don a gown, a bride in disguise that night. Thor balked, fearing scorn and mockery sneer, yet Loki reminded him, their end was too near. The prospect of giants ruling their sacred home convinced Thor to don the gown. To Jotunheim they'd roam. Enveloped in fabric, Thor stood tall and grand, while Loki assumed a role so cunning and grand. They rode on a chariot, pulled by goats with fire, through realms they thundered, fueled by relentless desire. At Thrym's dwelling, a wedding feast commenced. Thor devoured food, with might and hunger immense. Thrym grew perplexed, as Freya's appetite grew, but Loki's quick wit assured there was nothing anew. Thrym sought a kiss from his supposed bride. Thor's fierce gaze made Thrym's nerves tremble inside. Loki intervened, with fast thinking and charm, convincing Thrym. Excitement kept her from slumber's calm. Then Thrym's sister arrived, demanding her due, jewels for his bride, a demand that was true. Finally, as a wedding blessing, he brought forth the prize, unleashing Mjolnir's might, to the giant's surprise. Thor cast off the disguise, seizing his revered weapon, with thunderous fury, he struck every foe, no exception. Giants fell like waves before the raging sea, but Loki, ever cunning, escaped the chaos with glee. In the wake of battle, victorious and unyielding, Thor stood tall, triumphant, his might deeply revealing. With Mjolnir in hand, the hammer's power restored, Asgard safe once more, with giants no longer adored. In the realm of gods, a meeting was held, for Baldur, plagued by dreams of death foretold. His slumber disturbed, his heart filled with fear, the gods sought to understand, to make it clear. So Odin, wise and mighty, mounted Sleipnir's back, to journey to Hel, on a perilous track. He arrived to find a celebration prepared, but the reason behind it left him impaired. Approaching a grave, Odin called forth the seeress, a buried soul, now awakened from her darkness. Taking the guise of victim, he asked with a plea,
"O seeress, why do they await Baldur in glee?"
She replied, her words laden with mystery and sorrow.
They anticipate his arrival in this realm of morrow. For Baldur, beloved, shall meet his untimely demise, by the hand of his blind brother, Sorrow's guise.
Odin, his heart heavy, then inquired further,
"Who shall avenge the death of my precious son, brother? Tell me, seeress, who shall bring forth justice true?"
She whispered,
Vali, your son, born anew.
but Odin's curiosity did not wane.
Why then, do maidens toss necklaces in the air, in pain?
The seeress, startled, saw Odin's true disguise, realizing his presence, she could not deny. Attempting to retreat, to find her rest once more, Odin revealed her true essence to the very core.
Not a seeress nor wise woman, but a mother most dire, mother to trolls, fierce and deadly in fire.
With those words spoken, the seeress succumbed, to her slumber she returned, her knowledge numbed. Odin, enlightened, headed back to Asgard's light, haunted by the visions of the fated, endless night.
I see you finally made it through if you're watching this. And now you're at the end of the video. Very long video, isn't it? But, video nonetheless. I hope you had a good time. And something funny I just thought of. When I read one of the lines where it said Loki in Discord, the first thing that came to my mind was Loki invented Discord, like the website place. I don't know. I just think some funny stuff sometimes. But on the other hand, hope you like this. I based the video, like the way it's formed, from the video from a overly sarcastic productions video on the Poetic Edda. But yeah. That's it for today. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.